We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter.
You trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's let's go in here and make this money. You know, it's more of a business tactic than anything.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pounds.
At a charged promotional press conference ahead of the much-anticipated Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis matchup, Davis abruptly shifted the tone from scripted taunts to something much darker when, during a tense back and forth, he fixed his gaze on Paul and barked.
He's a fighter that just started fighting. That's, you know how when somebody first come in the gym and like yeah. When somebody first come in the gym and they've been coming for like a little minute, so they think they nice now. They ain't get all the everything down pat, but that's how he fight. I don't think he's an awkward fighter. Awkward is somebody, I don't want to call no names, but awkward is like different from him. He's not awkward. We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter.
I might kill you, a line that cut through the usual chest thumping and left cameras and attendees scrambling to register whether they had just witnessed an offhand piece of hyperbole or an unmistakable threat.
Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then. But I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers.
Whatever Davis's intent, the clips spread instantly across social platforms, magnifying the fight's already feverish media cycle and forcing promoters, press handlers, and athletic officials.
Generally, I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. Who like how much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pete? In MMA, like we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree, right or no?
Yeah. Like the idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, "Oh, we're gonna watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental what we're gonna watch here." I think where people get annoyed with Jake is like, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. Like this is every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs, and this is ridiculous. As long as why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'd be like, this is fucking ridiculous, and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like he's winding us up he's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
To reckon with the optics of violent rhetoric in a sport that trades on bravado, but is still bound by real-world legal and ethical limits.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pounds. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. Tank is telling anybody that will listen that there's a size problem. My skills and my experience in boxing, I do not have to wonder who's in the bar tonight. Any bar I go to, I rule the bar. No, it turns out that you don't. Just need some big guy to corner you, apparently. Boxing has never stood its ground. Boxing has never been able to explain why Floyd needed a half hour to get rid of a guy who's never boxed before. Tank Davis has already began this. When you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he...
Observers pointed out that fight promotion has long blurred performance and provocation. Trash talk sells tickets.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
But you don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that
shouldn't.
You think Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
£70 is £70.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
5'5".
That's
You
what I'm
got
saying.
Jake Paul,
He's a little
6'1".
man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward.
But threats that invoke lethal harm cross a different line, inviting scrutiny from commissions, potential sponsors, and broadcasters that prefer controversy without criminal overtones.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's going to step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight. But at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who's training boxing full time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury. But it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy first round knockout for myself.
In practical terms, the outburst escalates tensions that were already high because of questions about weight disparity, fight sanctioning, and safety that have dogged the matchup in recent weeks.
Paul's not taking a fight. Declan, take Jake Paul taking a fight. Come on. I'm going. What do you think? No, what do you think? You ask lots of questions. What do you all think? Don't just tell me the truth.
You can already beat Woodley.
What?
This fucking guy.
That was horrible. Get him out of here. No, but like seriously, do you guys think Jake will take the fight? Because I'll campaign for it right now. If I see his nod, say yeah, I'll ask for it. But I just don't think he's going to take it. He's on a bet. What?
We're interested in the fight, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and beg for a fight. I'm not going to get. He's a bigger star, on a bigger trajectory. Why am I going to sit here and waste my breath and my time? He's not taking it enough, so I'll just won't call for it. Andrew Tate won't take it. Mike Perry, George Master, none of them want to take it. That's the truth, that's Mans. Mans, like, I feel like sometimes I throw him under the bus, but I've got to. Come on, no one wants to fight.
I got you.
Okay, Sam, he's got me.
I'm sure you're
Darren.
right. We're in Manchester, you have a good night tonight, and then Monday
I'll have a good night tonight. Let me tell you that. Darren.
For fans, it was both combustible theater and an uncomfortable reminder that what begins as hype can have consequences beyond social media engagement.
Gervonta Davis's guarantee.
I call bullshit.
Me too.
I call bullshit.
$200 million is a lot of money.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
No. $20 million, I would believe, not $200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model. So, and Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist.
Mhm.
200 mil is just completely false.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean, so much bigger.
I don't get it. If he thinks this is going to make him legitimate in boxing, I just don't get why he do it.
Who were you going to call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
And Jake Paul?
Next question.
Opponents and camps might respond in kind. Security plans are rechecked, and public opinion can shift from excitement to concern.
How do I even start to break down a Tank Davis versus Jake Paul fight? Tank, a massively powerful fighter at 135 pounds, but his punch output is among the lowest in the sport. Jake has a pretty decent punch output for a guy that's 200 pounds. He hits hard in his own right, but doesn't have the skill and capabilities anywhere close, or the feet, or the hand speed, or the eyes anywhere close to Tank Davis, but has a power that Tank Davis has probably never felt, but just because Jake is naturally 70 pounds bigger than him, right? So 10 rounds, 3 minutes, who starts to show the wear and tear first? I know if Tank touches him on the jaw, it's probably not going to feel like roses, regardless if he's 135 or 150 or whatever he steps in that night. He's still a Tank and has still put guys down as he's gone up in weight, but Jake is just so much bigger. How much will the power that Tank has at the lower weight classes affect?
Journalists and boxing analysts debated whether the comment would be laughed off as part of the show or linger as a stain on promotional goodwill.
It would just be sad that if Tank Davis' boxing career, real boxing career, championship is over because, of the Jake Paul fight. It would be sad for boxing. I don't know for that to be the case, but if he make, in excess of 30, 40 million.
They reported $40 million.
I don't know what kind, I don't know what he does after that. Does he come back to boxing and defend those titles? I don't know, bro. So I don't know if could this be the last time we see Tank Davis in a real championship fight? Was Lamont Roach the last fight we see of him like that? I don't know. But if it is, that would be a tough pill to swallow for boxing fans. Jake Paul saved him from that.
Should he have fought Roach? Do you think he avoided him, ducked him, or anything like that? It was just this business decision.
I can't say, bro. It looks like it. It looks like he didn't want that. He didn't want to go back down that road, and Jake Paul saved him from that. Jake Paul saved him from that, bro. He got out. You know what I mean?
That's the one that's going viral, Chin. That's a good one. Jake Paul saved him. Got you.
Yeah. But that's the truth. It seems like.
Yeah.
And Roach, Roach came with it, bro. And it looks like through their familiarity coming up in the amateurs and all that together, Roach really know him better than most fighters.
Might have heard this one before.
Him, you know what I mean? Roach know him, bro. So
yeah.
I think that was hindsight always 2020. I didn't think he wanted to go back down that. That was a tough out for him.
And legal commentators noted that statements made in public forums can sometimes attract civil or criminal attention, depending on context, follow-up behavior, and local statutes.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money. But from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. I'll be super, super down.
I don't know if Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Promoters have incentives to keep the narrative focused on the ring, pay-per-view numbers, match stipulations, and training updates. But they also must manage risk. Athletic commissions, venue operators, and global streamers are wary of being associated with rhetoric that seems to condone violence outside the squared circle. Ultimately, the episode crystallized a paradox of modern boxing marketing. Raw emotion and antagonism drive attention and revenue. Yet when taunts veer into explicit threats, they force the sport's stakeholders to decide whether to amplify the drama or impose boundaries that protect fighters, staff, and the public, while still preserving the spectacle that fuels their business.